Hey folks, it's time to do yet another rapid response video where I watch a video along with you and respond to certain points that are made. Today I will be talking to Coach Dave TV. Hi Dave, how are you? In his latest video where he talks about the problem with bullying here in the United States. I'll post a link to the video down below. There's two resources that I have available. One is from Right Wing Watch, and the other is from Coach Dave TV. I will mostly be using the Coach Dave TV video to respond to. So let's get started, shall we?
Hi friends, this is Coach Dave Top from our News with Hughes.tv.
Hi Dave, good to see you, buddy. How are you?
News with Hughes.com. I'm not up to my ears in it, folks. I can't even hardly take it anymore. This whole idea of bullying.
Yeah, bullying has been a bit of a problem here in the United States. Actually, it's been a problem throughout most of history, but, let's move right along, shall we?
Time you turn on the TV or turn on the news, of course you do understand this, that they use the news to manipulate people. It's the greatest manipulator in all.
You mean not like sports or religion or pretty much anything else that involves the entertainment industry? Yeah, I can see your point.
All of America is the news and the television reports and the TV shows and things they show us. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about bullying.
Yeah, I mean, considering that most bullies tend to be jocks and athletic types, I can see where you're tired of hearing about that.
I'm so sick of it. Now, there are those of you out there who like to take some of these videos that I make and try to chop them up and take parts of them to try to make me look like a fool. So
Yeah, Dave, you kind of do that all by... I'm sorry, let me be kind. Let's move right along.
I hope you'll show this one in complete, full context. I'm not for bullying. But let's be honest here. Bullying is the way of the world. It is the way of the world. Now, those of you who look at me, you probably can't tell this, or maybe you can. I'm not of great stature. Somebody said I'm challenged in my height, right? I'm about 5'7" on a good day. My whole life, I was called shrimp. I was called shorty. As I grew up with my brothers and my brothers' friends, they made all kinds of fun.
Yeah, and it didn't feel good, did it? You didn't enjoy it when it was going on, did you? You didn't like enjoy it all that much, unless you're a masochist. Not my place to judge. But moving right along.
But it only made me tougher. I didn't like it. I went home and I cried and I told my mom that they were picking on me. But you know what? The reality of it is, life is tough, and you're going to get picked on all through your life.
Yes, but you don't have to pick on other people. I mean, again, yes, life is tough, and there's always going to be jerks and douchebags around you. Can't necessarily escape that, but at the same time, do you have to participate in bullying? The answer to that is no.
But only in the last 5, 10, 15 years has bullying become such a big issue. Folks, the whole bullying idea is built around...
Wait. This is going to be funny. This is going to be it's going to be tragically funny. It's going to be ironically funny. Get ready.
The homosexual agenda.
Oh, the gays.
Not to criticize or make fun of or put fun at homosexuals. That is...
You do realize that kids don't just bully gays, they bully other people too? It's just that, it's more socially acceptable to bully gays. Considering, they're gay. Moving right along.
The whole genesis of the no bullying. That's where it all came from. But come on now, open your eyes and look around at how America operates. America operates always with the bullies winning.
Really? America operates with the bullies winning. I can see where you got that. But if you think about it, is it right? Is it correct? Is it something that we should continue to allow? I mean, we used to bully black people back in the 60s. We used to bully Native Americans. We used to bully all sorts of people. It didn't make things right. But moving right along.
Have you ever seen a bigger group of bullies than what we see in Washington, D.C. today?
Okay, are we talking about the Republicans here? Because, yeah, we've seen the Republicans as the biggest group of bullies, but somehow I don't think that's who you're talking about. Let's move right along.
With what just went on with the debt ceiling and closing down the government, the way that Barack Obama and the Democrats, the way that they called their constituents, made fun of them, called them radicals and extremists, and locked those poor old veterans out of the...
Okay. You do understand that it was Congress that closed the war memorials. You do understand that it was Congress that shut down the government. You do understand that Barack Obama did negotiate in good faith, but, you know, again, your view of bullying seems to be slightly askewed, but what else can I expect from a jock? Moving right along.
Memorials, that is nothing more than bullying.
Yes, and it was the Republicans that were doing the bullying, not Barack Obama. Barack Obama didn't send a whole bunch of troops over to these memorials to stop people from coming. It was Congress that cut the funding to allow those memorials to open. You know, common sense here, Dave. Common sense and a little bit knowledge of history and paying attention to what's going on. Moving right along.
I don't want Obamacare, but what are...
So don't get it. You have that option. You do not have to have Obamacare. You can say, no, I don't want to participate, and that's perfectly acceptable. You just have to pay a small fee. That's it. Moving right along.
What are they going to do? They're going to use the IRS to bully me into complying with something that I don't want to do.
Again, you're trying to... Okay, first of all, you're trying to compare what's going on with Washington with bullying. The two of them are not necessarily the same thing. You can opt out of Obamacare if you wish. You don't necessarily have to participate in the program. That doesn't change the fact that the Affordable Care Act is law. You can still keep your insurance plan. You can still participate in your insurance plan. You can do whatever the heck you like. You can even go on Medicaid if you want, if you qualify. But even still, you can do whatever you want. Nobody is putting a gun to your head and telling you to take medical insurance. Moving right along.
What is hate speech legislation? See, they say hate speech prevents bullying, but it's just the opposite. Hate speech increases bullying.
Do you see where he's going to go with this? Is it that obvious to you two? I mean, yeah, yeah.
In fact, when someone says something that their conscience tells them to say, and everyone rises up against them, then we see the majority begin to bully the minority.
Okay, so the majority here, who are we talking about? Okay, let's try and decipher the code a little bit. Could he be perhaps talking about evangelical Christians? Yeah, he's talking about evangelical Christians, who are supposed to be the minority. However, which I'll post a link down below in the crotch bar, the largest religion in the U.S. is Christianity, claimed by a majority of the population, 76% in 2008. Of those queried, roughly 51% of Americans are Protestants, 24% are Catholics, 1.7% are Mormons, the name commonly used to refer to members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. 1.7 have affiliations with various other Christian denominations. Christianity was introduced during the period of European colonialization. I'll post a link down below. This is from Wikipedia, but you know, I hardly think that Christianity is considered the minority religion here in the United States. 76% of the American people identify themselves as Christians as of 2008. Sorry, you're not the minority.
Once again, you know what's rapidly happening in America? We're beginning to see Christians and Christian ideas and Christian values become the most bullied things.
Okay. What is the Christian idea? What is the Christian ideology all about? What is it? Matthew chapter 7, starting at verse 12. Actually, let's go to verse 11. If you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give that which is good to those who ask him? Okay. In everything, therefore, treat people the same way you want them to treat you, for this is the law and the prophets. So let me see. Is that what Coach Dave is talking about? Doing unto others as you would have them do unto you? Matthew chapter 7 verse 1, judging not lest ye be judged, for the same measure by which you used to judge others will be used to judge you. That if you having, if your brother having a speck in his eye and you having a plank in your own eye, you should probably wait until you take the plank out before you start looking at your brother's eye. But that's probably not what Dave is talking about here. Go ahead, Dave. Speak up.
In all of this nation, I don't like bullying. But bullying is a part of life. And if we want to be able to make Americans tough again, we are training some of the softest children in the history of the world. My father's generation, the greatest generation.
So yeah, you got beaten up, your kids got, your parents got beaten up. You probably have your kids beaten up too, but no, you know what? I think it is time we stop hurting one another because we're Americans. Maybe it's time we stop judging one another because we're Americans. Maybe we should stop trying to be jerks to one another because we're Americans. We're in the same boat. We're in this together. You want the right to bully other people? Really? Okay, sure. That's not going to wash. Sorry. And that's not what Jesus taught to do.
Would be ashamed of how sissified we've allowed our children to become. Because why? Government nanny, public school nanny has to step in, and prevent every type of psychological damage that might ever be done to every kid. I'm going to come back to me again, 5'7". I'm going to tell you something. I was one of the most tenacious young athletes that you ever saw.
Yep, and he was probably one of the worst bullies of them all, too. Because you know that he's most likely going to overcompensate and start picking on people that are a lot worse off than he is. Let's move on. No, it's you saying to the bullies, I'm not going to let you attack me anymore. You decided to fight back, which is fine. That's great. But you know what? If you didn't have to go through that, imagine what you would be like if you were accepted for the person you were, as opposed to what society says is normal. Moving right along.
I think rather than turning the focus of our government schools on the bullying of fellow students, maybe we ought to get the adults to turn their eyes on the focus of the bullying of the federal government.
Yeah, let's start turning our attention to the Republican Party that has been holding this country hostage. Instead of blaming the black men in the White House, why don't we blame the assholes that have been doing everything in their power to make sure that his administration and the country fail?
Government class in Washington, D.C., and the things that they're making us do that go against our very nature and our very consciences are at risk because why? Government is the biggest bully in all of it. This is Coach Dave Donnemeyer at newsreviews.tv and newsreviews.com. We'll see you next time. Stop the bullying.
Yep, let's stop the bullying of the American people by the Republicans. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. And, yeah, overcompensating a little bit much, buddy. You might want to work on that.